All right, so just a few days before Christmas 2021, I'm here with Steve and his 150 horsepower Viking ZH750 airplane. He let me take it up on this one of these first flights with a new engine, and going up to do some performance testing, which will be documented in this video. So we're going to be looking at speed versus fuel flow versus RPM mostly. Like here we're putting the power in and getting up to 5,200 RPM. And as you can see, we're doing 110 miles an hour. We're using 9.9 gallons. So pretty much at 110 miles an hour, which is very fast for a stall CH750. They usually cruise around 80 to 90. So doing 10 gallons an hour at 5,200 RPM is doesn't sound very impressive, but that's very impressive in that airplane. Now as we reduce power, we're getting here down to 5,000 RPM. So we've pulled the throttle back, and we see that the speed dropped 5 miles an hour. We're down to 105 miles an hour. And a fuel flow is now 9 gallons an hour. So clearly we're using fuel, and we're using the horsepower of the engine to overcome the drag of the airframe. Normal cruise in this airplane, like we said, is much lower. Now let's see what happens because we were doing this in reverse. We started out with the higher power settings, and now we're pulling it back. So we're pulling it back again, retrimming the airplane for level flight at 1,200 feet. And over the floor of the marsh, we're down to 4,800 RPM, the upper left corner there. And right below that, you see the second green bar across is 7.2 gallons an hour. Here we go again. We've reduced power to 4,500 RPM. And we're getting down into more of a normal fuel flow for 6 gallons per hour. And let's see what the speed is at that point. I think it was like 92 miles an hour. Now we're further down into the 4,200 RPM range. 4.7 gallons an hour, 4.6, and we're down to 85 miles an hour. So now we're down to a normal cruising speed for this airplane. And we pull the power again down to 3,900, or basically 4,000 almost. Speed is 75, 76 miles an hour, and we're only using 4 gallons an hour. So 45 is normal. Yet the airplane has the top end of the cruise envelope at those fuel flow settings, so it's very efficient. Looks like we pulled the power again down to 3,700 RPM. Have a fuel flow of only 3.4 gallons an hour, and we're just barely hanging in there at 70 miles an hour, 68, 67. The airport at Massey, where Viking has their facilities. We're down to 3,400 RPM, 2.9 gallons an hour, and we're doing 50 miles an hour. Now 50 miles an hour is a nice sightseeing speed, and 2.9 gallons an hour is a nice way to do that without using too much fuel. And also it allows you, like we saw, to go fast at 110 miles an hour. But then, of course, the fuel flow is almost, it's more than 3 times that. We're still flying at 1,200 feet, staying level at 3,300 RPM, and we're down to 2.5 gallons an hour. And we're flying at 40 miles an hour. Here we're showing that even though the EFIS is showing we're getting low on fuel, our header tank is full of fuel, and we We still have a couple of gallons on each side in the wings, and then the header tank, of course, is full. And we have another hour's worth of fuel in the header tank. Beautiful airplane, very smooth, a lot of fun, privilege to fly. Thank you, Steve, for all your support and getting a Viking engine in your 750 stall.